Hey you guys, it's me, Rake Havoc Studios here, and here with another video, otherwise known as Mercy Scarlet Renard. So today we're going to be actually talking about what's the difference between a dance competition and what is a normal fursuit competition. So there's several things I want to go over, which is, the first one is, we're going to get this out of the way. There's a big difference between fursuit competitions and regular competitions. Normally, we wouldn't be in fursuit. That is the major difficulty here that people seem to surpass, is that it is totally different. You don't overheat in a normal competition, but you will pass out if you are not careful. But let's get on to the main differences here. So judging is a huge factor in the difference between fursuit competitions and fursuit dance or normal competitions. Being in a competition, you are judged all the way down to your pointed toes and pointed fingers and pointed hands. Like, you are meticulously strict judging. That is what the main difference really is. Versus fursuit judging, it's more about having fun, moving around the stage, being involved with the crowd, and just having fun at it. And then the end of the day, it's friendly fire. Another one is your award system. Your award system is totally different in competitions, and I actually have an example here. So this is an example of an actual trophy I have won. Now, this is not to brag or not to boast about things, because this is just an example. This is one out of 27 trophies that I have. That the rest of them are packed away because they are old and very fragile. Because as you can tell, this says 2002. But this was actually for a High Point Award. This was for Kids Artistic Review. They are made simply for the competition, and that is it, to be won. And they would typically have what we have on fursuit dance competitions. We would come out all on the floor, and they would be calling either the company's name or the person's name that did the solo or duet. Oh, that's another thing, is that we have multiple categories. Being with dance competitions, on the other side, I don't see a lot of people giving out awards at the end of competitions for fursuit dancing, and I think I've maybe seen one that does it, and I think that is MFF. I'm not entirely sure, don't take my word for that. But I did see a couple ones where they get cash prizes and maybe even some like exclusive things for the dealer's den or exclusive items. Maybe even t-shirts from the con, just normal itty-bitty prizes. Versus being in a competition, you actually get cash prizes, and most of the time you get awards. Another big thing is floors. The floors are two totally different things. A lot of people don't realize that the floors for dance competitions and fursuit competitions are totally different. Typically, the fursuit floors are made out of carpet. They're made out of like slick linoleum. Oh dear God, my spelling. Anyways, they're normally made out of carpet or cheap linoleum, or they're made out of puzzle piece type floors that you can put together and hook wires up under to and through the floors. I've seen them happen. I've seen them put them together. It's not a very difficult process. However, in competitions, we have what we call a fake wooded floor, which is basically a cardboard hard type pinch wood. If you've ever heard of like tiny little fake wood, it's basically what that is you're dancing on fake wood. So, and it's covered in a, I guess you could say more of a black-like base. It's not linoleum, it's some kind of other material, but it's slick like linoleum. But they actually go back and scrape it because there is more traction on there. Also, our competition floors are practically covered in tape and lines of tape because it shows where we are on the stage and what center position is. There's always an X on the center of the stage. So that is very easy for us competitioners to go straight to the middle of the stage. A lot of the times, the costumes are, quite different. We obviously have two different types of costumes, although getting in either of them are not easy. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's so much easier when you're in a normal competition. No. I'm going to tell you this now. I took 3 showers as a kid to get 5 layers of gel out of my hair at a time. And I'd have probably makeup on that was meant for people who are in their 40s, on top of clip magnetic earrings that hurt like a son of a beep. And we'd have these tight, itchy costumes on. We would have to sit in them all day and sweat, just like you would a fursuit. Now, the only thing that is majorly difference between those costumes and what those are is that fursuits are made out of a non-breathable material, which is fake fur, on top of pinning on a head that has no actual vision or perception, versus being in a competition where you don't typically have to wear that, unless it's some kind of gig or dance. Oh, another different thing, props. Props are allowed in normal competitions, which is going to be really hard for me because I'm always going to want to use a cane or a chair to do something with, which I know in some cases in fursuit competitions, it is allowed if you ask. So make sure if you are going to do props for competitions in the future for fursuiting, make sure you ask your either maybe owner or con staff that will allow that. But yes, we use props. Holy crap, props big as the ceiling. We have some of them that are handmade. Our costumes are sometimes handmade, even down to the itty bitty rhinestones on our face placed with eyelash glue. It's incredible the amount of time that we spend on our suits and props and costumes in this competition to win these things. And that's the whole reason I say it's not really much different than a fursuit competition, except for, you're in a heavier suit, you're in a different costume, you're in a very much blind spot. And, it might be different to you if you look at it, but once you go through competition, it's not that easy. Another thing that is different between fursuit competitions and I guess dancing competitions, period, would have to be a lot of the times it is not friendly fire in normal competitions. And you guys have probably heard of the show Dance Moms. Okay, so we all know that series. If you are a dancer, you know Matt Stephanie from YouTube. You have all these people who are dancers that are freestyle dance moms. If you see the stuff that they go through, it is insane. And it's not fake. It's all true. Except for probably about the mothers fighting, that's probably not true. Considering that I know that my mom has had like back in the days where we would all nitpick about what our daughters or sons would wear. So, it's not as bad as what TV makes it out to be. Of course, dance moms fight because they want their daughter or son to be the proper one. They want to push them to the top. They want to do that for their son or daughter. And that is the wrong way of going about it. However, in competitions, it is not necessarily friendly fire. Just saying, I've seen some dance teachers go at it. It's not very friendly fire. A lot of different dance techniques that are different, like tapping, clogging, jazz, hip hop. A lot of the times, fursuit competitions, a lot of people do memes. A lot of people do just dancing right out in tennis shoes. And I don't see a lot of variety when it comes to actual dancing, like learning how to tap, learning how to jazz, learning how to do hip hop, learning how to do some of these things. And that's stuff I will go over in the future. But I want to get some things established before going forward. So that way you guys understand what it is that I understand, so that you guys can understand in the future. So another thing that I want to point out is categories are different. Massively, 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 massively different. Categories are so much more different. Categories are typically, for competitions, we have single, duets, we have groups of 14, groups of 15, even groups up to 25 on the stage. So we have those types of categories versus in fursuit competitions, we have just your normal single and your groups. Versus being, there is no duets, there is no categories, really, in inspiration of, age. And when it comes to our competitions, we had stuff like category ages from 5 to 3, You know, 3 to 5. We had categories from 10 to 12 years of age. Like they would range them as an age. Versus being in a fursuit competition, we don't necessarily have that age concept. And not a lot of people in this fursuit community want to necessarily know what age range they're in, which is completely understandable, but to a point of competition, that is normal. Um, Being in dance competition, there isn't a lot of, I see typically there's only novice and veteran. That's the only categories I see. And, you know, that's very sad to me because I feel like there needs to be an intermediate. There is no perfect person. There is no veteran. There is no novice. There's an intermediate middle section that I think that a lot of us forget. So without further ado, that's the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm sorry I haven't been uploading as much lately. I've been wanting to. I have, but I have been sick kind of recently. I'm just now getting over a cold. So I hope you guys are excited for my new series on the dance competition. So tell me what you want to hear from me, and that's what I want to hear back from you, is send me feedback. Also, another thing that I want to point out is that I'm going to be probably creating an intro for the channel here soon. So definitely send me some ideas, or even if you're an artist yourself and you want to sponsor me and you want to do that for me, send me it in my email. I will give it to you, or you can contact me on my Twitter or my social media, which I will be putting that in the description. Thank you guys, and I hope you guys love this series, because I hope you guys do, because I love you guys, and welcome to the furry fandom if you have not entered and you're just now entering. Welcome to the world of craziness. I'm Mercy Scarlet. See you guys.